So it is another beautiful day in Oriol. It is a nice snowy day here at the park, the main park, which is closed for some reason. It says Vychod zakrit, yet akaritsinaya abrabotka. So I think there's ongoing work over there. But you can see it goes on for about a kilometer, I think. It's really crazy that it's snowing because it's April, I don't know, 27, 26, 27. But we're pretty much in the center here. And that's, of course, with me, Josh, your tour guide. And as you can see, it is cold out. Wearing a hat made by my mother-in-law and with an umbrella from our place here in Oriol. But we'll go see the downtown, the main street. And we'll see everybody's favorite Russian guy too coming up. So as I said, Oriol was founded by Ivan Grozny, Ivan the Terrible, around 1566. There's even a church with his statue outside of it. Maybe we'll see that today. And so that's one point of pride that Oriol has, and of course the eagles are everywhere, which is another nice thing. The only downside is that there is no drainage system, not really. So on the side streets and even here in the main center, puddles form like crazy, and it is really annoying. Because as you can see, I'm dressed for April. I'm not dressed for snow. I'm not dressed for winter. It's really unexpected. So taking out Benny today, it only lasted about, I don't know, 10 minutes. Because it is so cold out. And so up there on your right, you can see the main city hall of Oriol. And that'll have everybody's favorite Russian outside of it. You can see he's coming up under the pedestrian stop sign, walk sign. But it is a really nice city, especially here in the center. There's lots of shops, magazine, stores, even souvenir shops for presents. Always gotta make sure you look both ways. And in the actual winter, this town square is full of rynek, a market made out of little wooden huts. And it's really pretty, especially with the snow coming down. And they put an ice rink in the center also, for people to skate around. But unfortunately, I don't know how to skate yet. So here we have the Russian flag made out in seats with the loudspeakers there. And then that, my friends, is a statue of everybody's favorite Russian guy, Vladimir Lenin, who's from out the provinces. His brother was killed, and so that's why he held grievances against the Russian Tsarist government. You can see his architecture, well, I say his, and by that I mean the Soviet architecture all around. Like this is a prime example. This is a theater and an opera house. And it's just squat. You know, it's plain stone. It's not really much to see. Otherwise, at least there are nice tilings on some of these buildings. Lord. There he is with the city hall out here on Main Square. And those two flags you see over there, or on the building at least, those are Dien Победы flags, which means Day of Victory, which is May 9th. Of course, Oriol is also the city known as the city of the first fireworks, Первый салют, which means that after World War II, they lit off the very first fireworks in this city to celebrate. That's why if you can see those red letters under that picture of World War II veterans, it says Salute, which, like I said, it means fireworks. So that's the one big thing going for Oriol. And it is a beautiful time to see it in the snow. Now, I never got the chance to play chess yesterday because the weather was also awful. It was very windy. It wasn't nice and snowy and a little bit warm like today. So it's some beautiful paintings on the walls. And of course, everything in Russia, it wouldn't be Russian if it didn't have something related to World War II. Because over here, that is the absolute biggest thing that ever happened in the world, pretty much. So that says, Spasibo vam veterаны, which means thank you, veterans. And here we are, on the main street. The black market over there, it's clothing. And it's the Tommy gun. It's an art club. And it's always nice to see how far down it goes and to see these little projects that they put up in the center. So that's what it looked like in the winter. Some new building projects going on all around Oriol, which we call Oriol Oblast, which means the Oriol region. Nice little cafes. I'm always surprised by how many coffee shops there are. There's about 4 or 5 here on this row. And a Sirovarna, which means a cheese shop. So it's everything that has to do with cheese. Makes sense, right? Because they have a cow out front. And it's really fascinating to see what's open and what's closed after the pandemic of COVID, because a lot of shops closed down, a lot of shops opened up that took their place, but a good deal stayed on, which is always nice to see. You know, like they have bookshops over here for children, for things like that. I buy all the children's books just because I can't read Russian that well. A souvenir shop to the left. You can see even here in the main street just how good the drainage is. It really is a pet peeve of mine. It's like, alright, so you made it really nice. You know, you have all these lights. You have a very nice center, very nice bricks. But the drainage is just so bad. And how they couldn't get that right, I just don't know. And so what's really nice about the main street is that you have all different sorts of restaurants, not just coffee shops. So there's a Chinese one back there, there's one for only beef up ahead that also has a cow. That one's a hookah bar. This is another theater with the Russian flag waving outside. And some really nice Oriol woodwork, which is Orlovsky Kervai, which is Orlov like bread factory basically, sweets. So it's really beautiful. Oh. So to continue down the center of Buik, it's an only meat restaurant. It's so. Because it's really hard to get good beef here in Russia. I think the most places they imported from or pretty much the only place, it's Argentina. And so you can't really get a really nice steak. But Dodo Pizza we have, and it's really good pizza, along with all the other accoutrements. And of course the stereotypical Irish pub, Dirty Boots, that every city needs. And this was a beautiful little movie theater, I think built in the 30s, called Kino Pobieda Theater, which means victory. Pobieda means victory. And so, like I said, everything really relates back again to World War II. But it's nice. In these provincial cities, it's rather cheap to live, especially compared with the humdrum, busy activity of everyday life in more of the centers like St. Pete or Moscow, or even Vladivostok, I imagine, though I've never been there. But those are just way too busy, and here it's just a nice, quiet evening, even for Monday night. Nobody is out, so it makes sense. Plus, some might say this weather is terrible, but I figured it would be the last chance to get snowfall this late in the spring, really. Which, to me, as an American, it is very strange still. April 27th or so, to see snow. My birthday is next week, May 5th. And Orthodox Easter is May 1st. So there definitely shouldn't be any snow. Just as another example of Rush as Oryol being one of the centers of Russian authors. It's Bunin. So they have a lot of writers here. You know, Turgenev being my favorite one. And I love to see the discrepancy. You go from that to seeing the rundown alleyways right outside of the main street with all the graffiti. No real lights down there. Even still. But as all good cities in the world, it has a river running through. Although I forget the name of it. I'll have it tomorrow, I'm sure. But it's also quite nice river. It goes all the way through the city, and there's even a very peaceful, calming, relaxing embankment that they made that you can walk along. And so along this river, you'll find there's a children's park, and of course cirki, which is churches. And there's one really big monastery here in Oryol, which is right near where I live. And it's very nice. I'll have to take a video of that too. That's about it for the center. Basically, just like in America, you have a main street. И всё. And that's it. Not much else. Around it, sure, there's restaurants, there's shops, but none nearly so nice as it looks here. There's love over there. They have an artillery piece, just to show off again. Always a beautiful thing. That's if anyone outside is a World War enthusiast, they should definitely come to Russia, because it is one of the best places for everything World War II. In Moscow, there's a humongous World War II museum that I can only highly recommend because it is very nice. And soon we'll see. There we go. One of the largest churches in Oriol. I do believe went there for Christmas last year. Very nice. And Russian churches are very different from Western churches in that they're all Orthodox, of course, and the Orthodox try to make the churches as if they are heaven on earth, which is fantastic because if you go inside, you'll see icons everywhere. And icons are depictions of the saints and of scenes throughout the Bible. And what's fascinating is that they're not painted, at least that's not the vernacular we use for it, but they're written. Because the icons are said to lead into the actual spiritual realm, basically. Best way to describe it. That they depict. So there we are, the Oriol River at the embankment. It continues on that side with another church, and the children's park is over that way, and the center up there. On a nice snowy evening in Oriol. And the statue of Ivan Grozny, Ivan the Terrible, is over there. Of course, with your tour guide, Josh. So have a good day, you guys. I hope you enjoyed.